There are discoveries, and then there are discoveries that force history to rewrite itself. For centuries, people lived ordinary lives above this place. They built homes, raised families, walked the same streets every day, completely unaware that beneath their feet, an entire city was waiting. Not a cave, not a bunker, a city, carved deep into solid rock, large enough to shelter thousands of people. A place with homes, fresh water, ventilation, storage rooms, places of worship, even massive stone doors designed to seal entire passageways. No ancient book described it. No map revealed it. No one knew it existed. Until one ordinary homeowner knocked down a wall and uncovered one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. But the real mystery isn't how this city was found. The real mystery is why anyone would build an entire city beneath the earth, only for it to disappear from history. Today, we know this place as Derinkuyu, hidden beneath the ancient volcanic landscape of Cappadocia in central Türkiye. From above, nothing seems unusual. Quiet streets, small houses, shops, children playing outside, everything looks completely normal. Yet beneath this peaceful town lies a world unlike anything archaeologists expected to find. A vast underground labyrinth, stretching nearly 85 meters below the surface, level after level, tunnel after tunnel, room after room. Every step revealed something even more extraordinary. Homes, food storage, water wells, animal shelters, churches, schools, an advanced ventilation system that carried fresh air deep underground. Everything a city needed, except sunlight. And with every new discovery, one question became impossible to ignore. Who built something this advanced, centuries before modern engineering? And perhaps even more importantly, what were they hiding from? To answer that, we have to go back to one ordinary day in 1963. It started like thousands of home renovations before it. No scientists, no cameras, no archaeological expedition, just a homeowner trying to expand his basement. As he removed part of an old stone wall, something unexpected happened. A cold breeze flowed through the opening. That made no sense. There shouldn't have been empty space behind the wall. Curious. He removed a few more stones. The opening grew larger. He leaned forward and looked inside. Instead of another room, he saw darkness, a narrow passage disappearing deep into the rock. Most people would have stopped there. Some would have called for help. He did neither. He stepped inside. The tunnel led to another chamber, then another, then another. With every step, the mystery grew larger. When archaeologists finally arrived, they expected to find a few hidden rooms, perhaps an ancient storage area, maybe a small underground shelter. What they actually found left them speechless. This wasn't a basement, it wasn't a cave. It was an enormous underground city, carefully planned, carefully engineered, built with remarkable precision. Massive circular stone doors protected the entrances. Deep ventilation shafts carried fresh air through the entire complex. Water wells reached the lower levels. Living quarters surrounded communal spaces. Everything had been designed for one purpose: to allow thousands of people to survive beneath the earth. But that discovery created an even greater mystery. If ancient builders possessed the knowledge to create something this extraordinary, why hide it underground? Why disappear without leaving a single clear explanation? The deeper archaeologists explored, the more unsettling the answers became, and what they discovered next would challenge everything they thought they knew about this forgotten city. The first discovery was astonishing, but it was only the beginning. As archaeologists continued exploring, the underground city seemed to grow larger and larger. Every tunnel led somewhere. Every staircase revealed another level. At first, they thought they had reached the end. They hadn't. The city kept going. Deeper, farther, more complex. By the time the first major surveys were completed, researchers realized they weren't looking at a collection of underground rooms. They were looking at a carefully planned city, built beneath the earth. The deeper they explored, the more impossible it became. There were living quarters for families, large storage rooms filled with space for grain and supplies, stables for animals, communal kitchens, wine and oil presses, meeting areas, churches carved directly into the rock, even schools where children could continue learning while the people above ground had no idea an entire community existed below them. Everything had a purpose. Nothing appeared random. Then archaeologists noticed something even more remarkable. Fresh air, even at the deepest levels. The air remained surprisingly breathable. How? The answer revealed an extraordinary level of engineering. More than 50 carefully designed ventilation shafts connected the deepest chambers to the surface. Some extended for dozens of meters. They didn't simply provide fresh air. Many also served as water wells. A single design, solving two life-or-death problems at once. For an underground city, air was survival. Water was survival. Without both, none of this could have existed. And yet, whoever designed Derinkuyu had already solved those problems centuries before modern engineering. But fresh air wasn't their only concern. Security mattered just as much. Throughout the city, archaeologists found enormous circular stone doors. Some weighed hundreds of kilograms. Each one could roll into place from the inside, completely sealing an entire passageway. If enemies entered one tunnel, the people inside could isolate that section within seconds. The city wasn't just built to be lived in, it was built to be defended. Every corridor, every doorway, every chamber suggested careful planning. Nothing about Derinkuyu looked accidental. It looked intentional, as if its builders knew exactly what they were preparing for. And that raises another question. What kind of threat forces thousands of people to build an entire city beneath the ground, complete with food, water, fresh air, schools, places of worship, and defensive stone doors? What were they expecting? War, invasion, religious persecution, or something else entirely? The evidence offers several possibilities, but before we explore those theories, we first need to answer an even bigger mystery. Who could possibly have built something this advanced, using nothing more than ancient tools? Because that question has divided historians for decades. For decades, one question has refused to disappear. Who built this incredible underground city? At first, the answer seemed obvious. Surely a civilization capable of creating something this advanced would have left behind clear records, names, inscriptions, ancient documents, something. But they didn't. And that's exactly what makes Derinkuyu so mysterious. Today, most archaeologists believe the earliest parts of the city may have been carved by the Phrygians, an ancient civilization that lived in central Anatolia nearly 3,000 years ago. The volcanic rock beneath Cappadocia was surprisingly soft, easy enough to carve with iron tools, yet strong enough to remain stable for centuries. It was the perfect material for building underground. But here's where the story becomes far more interesting. The city you see today was almost certainly not built all at once. Evidence suggests it expanded over many generations. One civilization added new chambers. Another extended the tunnels. Later communities improved the ventilation. Others created new living spaces. Derinkuyu wasn't the work of one ruler, or one generation. It was a project that evolved over centuries. Then history took another turn. During periods of invasion and religious persecution, early Christian communities are believed to have used the city as a place of refuge. Hidden churches carved into the rock, religious symbols, and underground gathering spaces all point toward later Christian occupation. But occupation is not the same as construction. That's an important distinction. The people who prayed here may not have been the people who first built it, and that's where many documentaries make a mistake. They present theories as facts. The evidence simply doesn't support that. What we know is that Derinkuyu changed over time. Different civilizations used it, expanded it, adapted it, but identifying the original builders with complete certainty remains impossible. And perhaps that's exactly why this place continues to fascinate historians today. Because every new discovery answers one question, only to create another. If generations of people invested centuries expanding this underground city, there must have been a reason, not a temporary danger, not a single battle, something much greater, something important enough to justify building an entire world beneath the earth. So what was that reason? War, invasion, religious persecution? Or did the ancient world face a threat we still don't fully understand? To answer that, we need to examine why thousands of people chose to leave the surface behind and build a life in complete darkness, because the reason they went underground may be even more astonishing than the city itself. Imagine living in complete darkness, days, or even weeks, without seeing the sun, no fresh breeze across your face, no open sky above your head. It sounds unimaginable, and yet, thousands of people were prepared to do exactly that. Why? At first glance, the answer seems simple. Protection. Throughout ancient history, central Anatolia was a crossroads for powerful empires. Kingdoms rose, kingdoms fell. Armies marched across these lands for centuries. For the people living here, danger wasn't unusual. It was part of life. An underground city offered something no fortress above ground could guarantee. Disappearance. From the surface, there was almost nothing to see. No towering walls, no massive gates, no signs that an entire community could be hiding below. To an invading army, it would have looked like an ordinary village. But if danger approached, families could disappear underground. The entrances could be sealed with enormous circular stone doors. Food had already been stored. Fresh water was available. Ventilation shafts carried air throughout the city. Everything had been designed for survival. For weeks, possibly even months. But war alone may not explain everything. Historians also believe Derinkuyu became a refuge during periods of religious persecution. Early Christian communities are thought to have used these underground spaces to worship in secret and protect themselves from violence. The churches carved into the rock, the gathering halls, and the religious symbols discovered inside all support that idea. Yet another mystery remains. Some parts of Derinkuyu appear to be far older than those Christian communities, which means the city already existed. They didn't create it. They inherited it, expanded it, adapted it. So the original purpose may have been something entirely different. Could it have started as a temporary shelter that slowly evolved over centuries? Could each generation have added new tunnels, new rooms, new levels, as new threats emerged? Many archaeologists believe that's the most likely explanation. Not one enormous construction project, but countless generations improving what already existed. And when you look at the evidence, that theory begins to make sense. Different construction techniques appear in different areas. Some chambers are simple, others are remarkably sophisticated, almost as if the city itself tells the story of centuries of continuous expansion. But even that doesn't answer the biggest question. If people invested generations carving deeper and deeper beneath the earth, what danger did they believe would keep returning? Because no one builds a city like this for a single bad year. You build something like this only if you expect the threat to come back again and again and again. That realization changes the way we look at Derinkuyu. Perhaps it wasn't simply a hiding place. Perhaps it was part of a long-term strategy for survival. And if that's true, one final mystery still remains. Derinkuyu was never alone. Across Cappadocia, archaeologists have discovered dozens of other underground cities, some connected by tunnels, others built miles apart, which raises an extraordinary possibility. What if Derinkuyu wasn't an exception, but part of an entire hidden underground world? And that's exactly where our story leads next. For years, Derinkuyu was believed to be something unique, a forgotten underground city, unlike anything else on Earth. But archaeologists soon realized the mystery was even bigger. Derinkuyu wasn't alone. Across the region of Cappadocia, researchers have discovered dozens of underground cities. Some are small, others stretch across multiple levels. Each one tells part of the same story. Generation after generation, people continued carving deeper into the volcanic rock, not for beauty, not for prestige, but for survival. Some underground complexes appear to have been connected to nearby settlements through hidden passages. Others were designed to function independently. Together, they reveal something extraordinary. Ancient communities weren't simply reacting to a single disaster. They were preparing, again and again, for dangers they believed would return. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson Derinkuyu leaves behind. History isn't only written by kings, or battles, or monuments standing proudly above the ground. Sometimes, the greatest achievements are the ones no one was ever meant to see. For centuries, an entire city remained hidden beneath ordinary homes. People laughed above it, worked above it, built new lives above it, never imagining that thousands of footsteps had once echoed through the darkness below. Even today, archaeologists continue studying Derinkuyu. New surveys, new technology, new discoveries. Every expedition brings us a little closer to understanding this incredible place. But not every question has an answer. Who carved the very first tunnels? How large was the original city? How many people truly lived here? And how many underground structures are still waiting to be discovered? Those questions remain unanswered. For now. Perhaps one day, another wall will collapse, another hidden passage will appear, and another forgotten chapter of human history will come back into the light. Until then, Derinkuyu reminds us of something remarkable. The deeper we dig into the past, the more we realize how much we still don't know. If history can hide an entire city beneath the ground for centuries, what else might still be waiting beneath our feet? Let us know what you think. Why do you believe people invested generations building a city beneath the earth? Was it constant warfare? Religious persecution? Or do you think there's another explanation the evidence hasn't revealed yet? Whatever your answer, one thing is certain: some of history's greatest mysteries are still buried, waiting to be found.